are wondering what's on my neck, roll the clip. So I just burnt my neck so bad with my new curling wand. It looks like I have a giant hickey. This is covered up with makeup. Oh my God, it's like blistering a little. And every time you say like, oh no, I just burnt myself with my curling iron, everyone's like, sure. Like, we know that's a hickey. And my brother's in town today and we're going to a comedy show. So I'm just gonna be walking out in the public and everyone is totally gonna think that I have a massive hickey on my neck. Love that for me. This lighting shows it a lot more. Again, that is with makeup on. Perfect. So great. Turns out it did in fact blister and then the blister popped and I can't cover it up with makeup or it's not going to heal properly. So here we are. This story came January 17th, 2024. My wife and I don't fight much, and when we do fight, we usually communicate well afterwards and things go back to normal. I brag to my friends about how reasonable my wife is and her ability to communicate and empathize is something I deeply admire. She doesn't hold grudges. She talks me through rough times until now. Due to a fire, my wife is out of work but still earning her salary. Thanks, insurance. We decided she would stay with our young son while out of work. She doesn't love child rearing, which is something we knew going into having kids. Honestly, it's hard to tell. She's a great mom, present and loving, even when I can see that she is struggling inside. I give my wife a lot of breaks. We are co-parents, split bedtime routines for our 2 kids. We both pull our weight. Yesterday was a snow day. My daughter was home with my wife and son, and I was working from home downstairs all day. I helped my daughter with cyber school until noon. My wife was with my son in the snow all morning, plowing the drive and sidewalks, etc. etc. I could have just said etc. And maintaining the house. My daughter joined them, and from the sound of things and some videos, she brought her friends over for playing and hot chocolate. I worked until around 5, and when I went upstairs, it was chaotic. My wife was doing laundry and helping my daughter who fell and hurt herself on the ice. She sent home the friends and we had dinner. I did the cleanup, and right after finishing, keep in mind, I've been downstairs working all day, not even a bathroom break after noon. I go into the playroom and my wife approaches me. And it goes like this. Her, can I go lay down for a bit? Me, I haven't gone to the bathroom all day and I put cookies in the oven. I can tell that I messed up just by the face that she gave me. Her, fine, never mind, forget I asked, heaven forbid. Now I am sensing some attitude and I know that I have misstepped here. So I say, no, it's fine, I'll take care of it all. Go take a break. To my complete shock, in front of our kids, who I admit aren't paying much attention, but are still close, my wife says, I said never mind. I've been running around on my feet all day watching our kids and other people's kids, and heaven forbid I ask for 20 minutes to myself. I again say, go take a break. I told you it was fine. But she has clearly lost her marbles and is seeing red. She starts cleaning up and helping with the kids, and I do too. I tried to overcompensate, but she just took over caring for them and they listened to her. In the hall, I said, I think you forgot I worked all day. And she viciously said, thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot. I can feel the attitude coming out between both of them though, right? I don't know. I think I might just be reading it with more sass than what's actually there. I feel like an ass. I get that she works hard caring for the kids, but I work hard too. I think not having her job and escape is making her reaction to this fight worse. She texted me the next day with her usual communication. She expressed how upset she felt with my behavior and the way I acted towards her. She said she was feeding and taking care of 6 kids all day in the snow alone and still cleaned the entire house and deep cleaned our craft room. I explained that I'm stressed at work and that I didn't get why she was so upset since I offered her a break, but she said, I don't want your pity breaks. She ended it with, thanks for the apology, by the way, which, yeah, I didn't exactly apologize, but for what? I feel like that could have just gone so much differently. From her perspective now, this is what I think, obviously I'm not her, when she asked for a break and you didn't just say, of course, honey, now she's not going to take the break because you didn't actually want her to have a break. In her head, she's like, okay, well, now you're saying have a break because I was upset by it. I feel like, couldn't we have just done, sure, babe, you take 20 minutes, do what you gotta do, but after that, do you mind if we like swap out and I take 15 minutes to myself? Because I haven't had a breakout all today. I didn't even pee. I feel like that could have gone just so differently, but here we are. And then she asked for the number for my daughter's piano teacher. The piano teacher was the only activity that I managed for the kids. I found out she texted her asking to go through my wife from now on, as she will be managing the schedule. Normally, my wife would text me asking if I can grab my daughter from dance on my way home yesterday. I do this every week. I didn't hear anything, and when I got home, I found out my wife had picked her up. I confronted my wife with, I am very present with my children. Do not make me out to be an absent father. My wife responded with, if I didn't manage and ask you for the help, you'd see them a quarter of the time that you do now, and I am done managing you. I get it. I should have just smiled and agreed when she asked for help. But this is extreme. She's having a fit and trying to ice me out of my relationship with my kids. It is so petty. It's like I don't even know this woman. Gone is the reasonable, level-headed communicator. So if you've made it this far, thank you. And please, please tell me if I'm wrong here. Well, you know, one thing about Reddit, they will in fact tell you when you're wrong. But I guess OOP did a lot more explaining in the comment section. So here are the top responses from OP. This is OOP on being told that his wife is stressed. He responded to that comment saying, her reaction is so out of left field. She really is usually the most reasonable person I know. It's been stressful for her, and I admit I am also so stressed at my job that I didn't see it. I figured a few months off would be a luxury. But yeah, now I see having 6 kids. 6 kids? Oh, because the other kids. And a toddler alone at home all day might be as luxurious as a barrel of hair. Guess it's my turn to be the empathetic, reasonable one. She's done it enough for the both of us. You know, at least he's realizing that he could have taken a different approach here. Next, this is what OOP had to say on being told to take the initiative and give the wife a break. OOP said, you are 100% right. I normally do say that. She asked me for a break at least 3 times a week. Hold up. To take a bath or go read, and I almost always immediately say yes. It was just an off moment, and I know I reacted poorly, but she's completely trying to ice me out. I had to argue with her this morning just to let me take my kids to school because, quote, she said she would do it. And the kids just went along clinging to her, and then when I pushed back, my kid started to cry for her. She had to calm him down and insist that going with dad is fun, just to undo what she just did. He was fine with going with me, but it's messy and so unnecessary. I am scared of her behavior. I love my wife, and I don't want to push her away. And then this is what he had to say about his wife's schedule. He said, my wife has 2 days during the week without my son or daughter. She has been painting the house and deep cleaning. My son is gone from 8 to 2 and my daughter 9 to 3, Monday and Friday both. I think the snow day broke her, but hopefully she'll come around and be sensible. I've never known her to ice me out or stop communicating, and it's freaking me out. It's a little bit why I think there is more to this fight. All right. Parents, I'm going to need you in the chat here. I don't have kids, so I truly can't say what it would be like to be a mother. All right? I'm going to need you to chime in here. Moms, dads, lay it out. Do you think that her reaction now and everything she's doing after the fact is reasonable? I'm glad he's like admitting that. Probably just could have said, sure, honey, like y'all are a team, you know? We have an update and it came January 26th. I made one stupid selfish comment to my wife a week or so ago, and now my life is in disarray. My wife is in some crisis. Her work is closed and she's being paid, but she's home with our kids now, including one 3-year-old. She gets breaks on Monday and Friday with the childcare. We went into having kids knowing that she wanted to be a working mother. So this has been an adjustment, to say the least. On to the OG fight. I apologized She accepted, and I figured things would go back to normal. They haven't. My wife used to include me in parenting our kids. I did the dance pickup most weeks, and our bedtime was split. I gave baths. I made dinner. All the stuff. Since our fight, my wife hasn't asked me for any help with the kids. The first morning I woke up on what was supposed to be my morning with the kids. I figured she was just being nice or trying to prove a point, but it keeps happening. She didn't even send them down to say goodnight last night. Normally, my wife does this silly game where she sends my son to ask me to read 5 books, and then we would negotiate down to 1 or 2 and race upstairs. Last night, I heard her racing him and came up to find her doing bedtime yet again. I'm not understanding like the whole my wife asks me to do that. Just do it. I think that's what the comments were saying about taking initiative. Like, just start doing bedtime. You don't gotta be asked.
I'm a little baby.
The kids haven't even noticed. It's like she's replacing me. When we were fighting, I said something really, really dumb that's living inside me and festering. My wife was being nasty and said that you wouldn't see the kids quarter as much as you do if I didn't arrange it, and I'm done managing you. I defended myself because I'm not an absent father, and I said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'd like to see how long you can manage without me." Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. Now I'm understanding why she is doing all of that, because she is quite literally trying to show you, I can do it without you. I don't need you at all. I'm doing it all anyway. Consider my foot officially in my mouth. She started running again. She's cooking really healthy and often. Every night I come home to my perfectly happy Stepford wife doing it all without me, and I feel empty inside. How do I fix this? I don't even know where to begin. At this point, I want to beg her to go back to how things were. This wasn't what we agreed on. Then he added an edit to this post. Believe it or not, I do want to be a good father and husband. I've royally messed up, and I see that, and I fully admit it. This is going to be my only edit, and then I'm going to get off my phone for a while and focus my attention on my family. My wife had dinner cooked when I got home. Everything is fine between us, so there wasn't any tension. After we cleaned up, I went upstairs and I ran my wife a bath, put Taylor Swift on her Alexa, and lit a few candles. I told her to go relax upstairs for the night. She was surprised but smiled and went on her way. I'm currently on the toilet. Oh, okay. Just sitting on the toilet. I'm currently on the toilet watching my kids take a bath. People mentioned love bombing, etc., but I'm just trying anything I can to show her I do appreciate and love her and our family, and I want to be a present father. I'm going to do bedtime tonight and probably all next week. I'll tell her she does so much during the day and deserves a break because it is the truth. I get that I come off as an a-hole. I grew up in a not great situation and I didn't have the best role models growing up. I'm terrified of my children not having enough, and I overcompensate by working too much. This new job came with a big pay increase, but the hours are longer and I feel like I can never keep up. I've reached out to a few recruiters tonight. I used to love my job and I always was home by 4:30. Even if it means taking the lost income, I'm thinking about going back. Relationships are hard and humans aren't perfect, and for all the people telling me my kids don't love me and I'm a waste of space, okay, Reddit, relax. I don't know, guys. Just remember I'm an actual person. Anyways, that's all I have for you folks. I need to watch the kids and start planning out my long road of groveling and reconnecting. Apparently, the next little update actually came because he posted in the comment section later on. The update is slow moving. My wife and I had a few nights of talking and crying that have helped make us stronger. I know everyone hates me, but I do love my wife, and had she never expressed an unequal workload before this fight, I would have put effort into learning about it and fixing it. As it stands, we agreed to therapy. My wife feels like her reaction to our fight was out of her norm and wants to start therapy on her own to help. I fully support that. I also do weekly therapy and I find it helpful. Boy, was this week fun for my therapist. Anyways, I looked deep into weaponized incompetence and unequal mental workloads and have come to realize I'm essentially another head to manage for my wife. We agreed to be partners in this life, and somewhere along the line, I lost that thread. She still claims that she wants to manage our schedules, but I don't want to be that husband or father. I have always thought my wife was amazing and looked up to her WWAD, what would wife's name do? And that is my motto. I want to be more like her, so I'll need to learn how to manage myself and my time and my kids' time without her help. Fun fact, when I was a kid, you know, all the WWJD bracelets? I used to wear them all the time, you know. I went to church camp. Anyway, you guys know, long story for another day. We all used to wear WWJD bracelets, and I would always walk around and be like, what would Jocelyn do? I'm sure Jesus was very offended by that. I've asked to take on the parenting responsibilities 100%. I didn't realize she needed to do so much stuff. It's been eye-opening. I don't know how long we will keep this up either. My wife isn't the biggest fan of handing over the reins. I think I'm going to go with what my wife and I decided in terms of deciding what realistic or sincere is. I wanted to see what it felt like to be 100% in control of everyone's schedule and make sure to take care of it. It's incredibly difficult to constantly be reminding myself of the time and who needs what and when, but it's also been humbling and rewarding. We both know it won't last forever, and we will get back to finding our new healthy medium. Things won't go back to before, and they won't stay like this forever. But for now, I'm taking over doctors and school duty work, and when we sign up my son for kindergarten next year, I will be doing all the work for that and making sure I am fully involved in the things I have missed with my daughter. I'm going to be a better dad, and that is just final. All right, we seem to be on a good path here. So I'm concerned why there's more updates, because usually that means things didn't go well or as planned. But before we get to the updates, we're hopping on hydration station. Grab your beverage of choice, but I will encourage water. Oh my gosh! My cup is empty. All right, well, you guys have to drink your water. Cheers. And while you're drinking your water, I have exciting news. All right. The Christmas merch is in fact back. It is on the website. It is live, jossbedard.com, and everything on the site has been dropped in price. Every single item. You want to know why? There's a new year around the corner, and we are doing out with the old, in with the new. 2026, we are going to have all new merch designs. It's been a while, and I see your comments all the time of, put that as merch, use that saying as merch, because I say a lot of sassy things, all right? So if you guys want a piece of any of the current merch collection that I've done over the last few years, you're gonna wanna get it. You're gonna wanna get it. And of course, if there is anything specifically you wanna see in merch, with my merch, let me know. I will be taking notes, all right? I will. The design is underway. It is also linked in the description of every single video. All right, so the next update came February 18th, 2024. My wife and I are 100% back to being a team, but I've realized I was stepping up the way I always wanted to. I promised my wife a partnership, and even though it's been a month or so since our fight and my wife keeps asking me to forget it happened, I can't. My therapist is helping me sort through my overthinking. My wife started therapy because of the stress of losing her work, temporarily, and staying home. Her issues appear to stem from feeling useless without bringing in a paycheck and taking on too many tasks at home to overcompensate. She doesn't feel like she deserves breaks, and when she takes them, she feels awful about herself and like she is lazy. I don't think any mom in this world could be lazy. Any parent, for that matter. Any parent. That is a full-time job in itself, and I give parents the most credit. Coming from the least lazy person I know, I can tell she is struggling, and I've been supporting her the best I can. I often make sure she knows I think that she deserves breaks. So when I see her hyperfixating on cleaning the floorboards, I intervene gently by reminding her that this doesn't need doing right now, but that I will finish it for her while she does me a favor and takes a little break. Sometimes it works, and other times she tells me, stop fussing and just leave her to work, and I do. It's been working well, and I don't mind the extra work for the peace of mind it offers me. My wife is my everything, and her happiness is paramount. Guys, my heart, I'm so happy they worked through this. Things got hard. They did therapy. They've done counseling. They've worked, communicated. All right, we are a team now. My kids are mostly clueless to all this. We don't involve them. And I must say, I made a throwaway comment about my wife not loving child rearing, and I received a lot of nasty comments about not having kids that we don't want. I'm weary to dignify this with a response, but will say what I meant was that we agreed before having children that my wife would not be the sole support system for them and that she would never feel obligated to quit working. My wife is fiercely independent due to her past, and a big part of her comfort in our relationship comes from her ability to leave it safely if she ever needed to. That trauma is hers, and I won't touch on it other than to say that I agreed to this aspect before we married, and I do not mind it. She should be an independent person. I would want the same for my kids. So that's basically it. I've taken on the role of primary parent. I get my kids to daycare and school and home, and while my wife helps half the time, it is now my responsibility to see who is doing what and coordinate things. I can't do it all in my head like her, but I have a chart that has been helping. She rebelled at first, but gave up the reins surprisingly easy. She needed a break. I also put my son back in full-time daycare. Although my wife keeps springing him early, I can tell that she likes the break. All right, wow! Oh, this is a recent update. This jumped big time. 18 months later, August 4th, 2025. All right. My wife agreed and started handing me the reins, starting with registering our son for kindergarten and all of my daughter's activities. I work from home still, and I am flexible and honestly enjoy being the one to get my kids on and off the bus. Now, I am the one they call when the kids are sick. Even when they do bother my wife, she will call me because I'm closer and I'm free now. Got the background checks for volunteering. Shark Shop from 11:30 to 12:40 is a perfect way to spend my Tuesday lunch break. The kids still prefer mom sometimes, but wow, has it made a huge difference. So if you can, dads, be the primary. It is worth every second. I love to hear that. I love this. Okay, but there's another update. Very, very recently, we're now at October 17th, 2025. Okay. My entire personality was my life with my wife. We grew up together. I knew her in diapers. We got together in high school and stayed together. We had our ups and downs, and we built a family upon our ability to love and learn. She was the best part of our family. No, this can't be happening. I'm reading ahead a little. I'm so sorry. I forgot yes, I have to read to you. Oh my God. She was the best part of our family. My wife passed away 5 weeks ago I'm gonna cry. No, this is terrible. This is so terrible. My wife passed away 5 weeks ago in a car crash. Oh my God, I feel sick for him. Oh, we were on such a happy story. What's happening? She left to grab a few things to make for dinner. My last words. Ooh, I'm gonna have to really get through this, you guys. My last words. Okay. My last words to the love of my life were an answer to any preference for dinner. Something she asked a lot and often got annoyed when I answered the same way I did that day. I couldn't care any less. And those were the last words. I'm drowning in this grief. A wave has come and swept me away, and I don't have the strength to fight it. I have 2 young kids. I can't drown. Everyone keeps telling me that. I need to be strong for them, and I'm trying. They are back to school, back to some level of normal. My in-laws are gone. I'm alone with my grief. I can't do this, guys. I don't think I can survive this. I don't want to be here without Katie. I can't do it. I want to stay, but how? How? I'm so mad. This wasn't supposed to be her end. This wasn't supposed to be how it went. I took her. Oh my God, I really can't get through this. Oh my God, it's probably super triggering as well. If you're new here, my partner, we lost his mom 2 years ago almost. So it's very triggering. I took her for granted. I didn't deserve her anyways. This is really not where I thought this story was going. He posted another update the next day. October 18th. My kids are young, 9 and 5, and it's been really, really hard. My issues could fill a book, but I'll stick to the one that is concerning me. My therapist gave good advice, but I'm wondering if this is something anyone else has experienced. My 9-year-old is refusing to accept my wife's passing. She doesn't cry about it. She doesn't want to talk about it at all. When I bring it up, she leaves or just kind of shrugs and gives short answers. This is out of character for her. She's usually the one to cry over a sad song or a stubbed toe. The other side of the coin is my son, who cries himself to sleep most nights begging for mommy. I've even screamed, "So do I," but she's not here at the poor kid. I'm trying not to drown myself, and I'm scared I am failing them tremendously. They are both in therapy. The therapist says it's normal. Google says it is normal. I don't know what I want. I guess other widows and widowers to say, yes, that happened to me and everything is fine. But I have no illusions that anything will ever be fine again. I know I need help. I'm struggling here. The path forward seems impossible. And then there is one more very short update, November 3rd, 2025. My missing you is a pain I've never known possible. I can't. I really can't get through this story. Okay, I was not prepared. I'm still here, Katie. Do I even post this video at this point? I feel like all I've done in the end is cry. I'm still here, Katie. I know you would want me to stay for the kids, but how I yearn to be beside you again. Someone needs to just come and read it at this point. I'll never love again. Okay, this is terrible. Well, clearly I'm in no position right now to be commenting on this story because I will just start crying. However, I'm sure a lot of people out there have experienced this grief. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, I guess, on how you reacted and handled this. And if you've experienced something, just know my heart clearly, truly breaks for you. And I'm just sending my love to everyone ever who has experienced grief. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.